the issues affecting Asia's animals and the stories of the people working on their behalf. We'll be taking you on a tour of what's been happening lately in the animal protection space around Asia and also bringing you updates from our huge network of animal protection organizations and our many working groups. Welcome to the Asia for Animals podcast.
Hello and welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Vinny, and today's episode is a special one. We're diving into one of the most anticipated events in the animal welfare space, the AfA for Animals Conference 2025, happening this August in the vibrant, buzzing city of Taipei. This year's theme, Reflection and Breaking Boundaries, isn't just a catchy phrase. It's really an invitation to pause, rethink, and reimagine how we work together for animals across sectors, countries, and causes. I am super excited because I'm joined by not one, but two incredible people from the steering committee who've been in the thick of making this event happen. Please welcome Connie Chiang from Taiwan SPCA and Wu Hu from the Environment and Animal Society of Taiwan, or EAST for short. Hi, Connie and Wu Hu.
Hi, Vinny.
Hi, Vinny. Hi, everyone.
Yes, super excited and happy to have you both here today. Okay, just to give you a little bit of background, Connie co-founded the Taiwan SPCA in 2009 and has been the executive director since 2010. She leads the organization in helping animals by focusing on cruelty investigations, advocacy campaigns, lobbying, and animal welfare education. And Wu Hu is the chief executive and founder of EAST. He has campaigned for 25 years to change the plight of animals in Taiwan, and is one of the leaders of Taiwan's animal protection movement. And we are going to chat about the inspiration behind this year's theme, what makes this conference different, and what attendees, maybe even you, listener, can look forward to. Oh, and a quick catch up. There's a limited time plus sale for the conference coming May 15 to 16. So if you've been on the fence, consider this your friendly nudge. All right, to kick us off, let's zoom out a bit. The AfA for Animals Conference has been running since 2001 as the largest and most progressive animal protection conference in Asia. That's over 2 decades of bringing together some of the most passionate, thoughtful people working in animal protection across Asia and beyond. This year, the 2025 conference is happening in Taipei with the theme, Reflection and Breaking Boundaries. It's all about looking back, learning, and then pushing forward with even more clarity and courage. So with that, let's dive into some questions. Okay, question number 1. Connie, would you share with me what inspired the theme, Reflection and Breaking Boundaries? Like, how do you hope it will resonate with participants this year, especially for those returning or even those who joined for the first time?
So, to answer this question, actually, we've had many meetings just discussing on the theme of this year. We were just throwing around ideas, and one main concern that kept popping up, I guess, was how to make the conference as useful as possible for attendees. And it turns out, we all agreed that in order to move forward in anything that we're doing within the movement, we must first really stop and reflect on our past efforts and be clear on what has worked and what has not worked. And we do believe that by identifying these challenges, and setbacks that we may have faced in the past, we can begin to learn perhaps from our past mistakes and begin to shift to different strategies and even directions. And, of course, we want to be celebrating everyone's successes, and that is still something we would love to hear from everybody. But at the same time, we just feel that we should also be discussing about what needs to be done better, and to be, honest with ourselves and with each other in order to help more animals. So that is why we have decided on the theme of reflection and breaking boundaries.
Wow, that's just an interesting one, and a lot of thought has been put into this. Do you have anything to add into this, Wu?
Yes, I think the animal work is quite demanding, very challenging. Yes, we all hope that we can make a success for every campaign or every issues. However, I think the success story comes from the failure or lots of maybe not only one failure but many failure. So I think if we want to go to reach any success goal, we need to learn from others. So when we choose this theme, I think we would like to focus on the reflections of any failure or any challenge, the experience, how we overcome any difficulties. So that is why we come with this theme, reflection and breaking boundaries. Not only from learning from our animal movement workers, but if we can learn from other issues too. For example, human rights or environment protection movements. That is how we come up with this theme for the conference this year.
Yeah, I just love how themes can really set the tone, kind of like a compass for the whole event. Next one. All right, so what makes this year's conference in Taipei stand out from the past AfA conferences?
Well, first of all, I think every conference is unique. I just want to say, all the past hosts have done a phenomenal job. Like, I didn't know it would be so much work hosting a conference such as AfA, but we're really excited. We started planning for the Taipei conference almost 2 years ago. I guess to answer the question, what makes it unique? Well, it is the first time the conference is being held in Taipei. And to pitch Taiwan a little bit, Taiwan is really known for our hospitality, our food, our night markets, and also our nature and national parks. I know that Taiwan may not be on the top of most people's list of travel destinations, but it really is a really, I think, underrated place to visit. So in addition to the conference, I think people will be pleasantly surprised at how fun and beautiful Taiwan is. I just want to share it. Someone has said that if all the Asian countries had a baby, it would be Taiwan. I think that's quite nice. So that means we have the culture, the modernity of a big city, and also everything else in between. So we really hope that everyone will take this opportunity to come and learn a lot at the conference and also to visit Taipei.
Yes, I agree that every AfA conference before was unique, whether that is in Bali or Singapore or Malaysia or Nepal or Qingdao in China. But I think this time we try to use the conference, when we choose the venue for the conference, we try to use it as a leverage that try to find out who is the most animal friendly hotel in Taipei. That's why the Marriott Taipei was picked up as a venue, because they choose to go cage-free. All their eggs use will come from the cage-free farms, and they use the milk they use are all animal welfare certified. And also, many people would like to have this conference animal free. So at last we choose the food is vegan food for this conference. So these are all, I think, is quite special for this conference in Taipei.
Yeah, that's a lot of factor, like thoughtful factor that you all consider to put into this conference. And I myself never been to Taipei before. I just passed by Taipei on a layover flight. But I mean, every city brings its own flavor, right? But Taipei, there's just something about Taipei because I've heard a lot about it. And after what you all shared here, it makes me super excited already to be there. And for someone who's never attended an AfA conference, can you share what they can expect in terms of experience, connection, and takeaways? Like, what's the vibe? Is it super formal or more like a big community reunion?
Well, I think if you never attended AfA conference, I would suggest you do come, whether you are in Asia or in other continent of the world, because you can always see some new ideas, new topics. Just leave your comfort zone, and so then you will see many other issues maybe quite different from what you are working on right now. And if you are feeling quite fatigued about your own campaigns or your own issues currently working on, I think you can maybe relax a bit in hearing someone's experience in this big event. You can see many people. I always find something new from the conference like this, whether it's for the laboratory animal issues or the human-animal interactions. I can always see something different, something inspiring for my own campaigns, for my own issues currently working on. It's good for me to see any other people, other groups working on different issues, different topics. So I do encourage people to consider to attend the AfA conference at least once if you never tried before.
Yes, so I do agree. If you've never attended an AfA conference, you must. I remember when I first started in animal welfare in 2009. I remember attending my first AfA conference, and I didn't know what to expect. It was my first probably like international conference. A bit nervous, attending, but I just remember afterwards, like I felt so empowered. I felt a greater sense of strength just by participating. And I think the feeling comes from, getting to hear from different advocates in different countries from all around the world, and then realizing that I'm not alone in this fight, or we're not alone in this fight. And, doing this work, sometimes I think, you can feel really isolated or even pessimistic, about the future. But then just by attending, you realize that there is actually so much progress being made, and we really can learn from each other, and that there really is a really good support system within the Asia for Animals Coalition. There are organizations, big and small, that are part of the coalition, and we're all here to help each other. So yes, I encourage, everyone to come and meet up. This conference only happens every 2 years.
Yeah, and nowadays, there are so many conferences out there. And if you have one thing to say, what's the people make space for this one? Because just let's be real, our calendars are packed. So what's the lasting value of showing up at the AfA Conference Taipei?
Well, just from speaking from personal experience, by attending past conferences, we were able to make way for subsequent campaign partnerships. And we also, learned about how to fundraise better and took back some, concrete campaign ideas that we were able to implement here in Taiwan. And, the AfA conference, there are so many representatives from all around the world, not just Asian countries. So we were able to build friendships, with other advocates. And we were able to find also mentors that we could reach out to, ask for advice, for information, for help. And I think that's really important. And that's definitely something that everyone can take away by, just attending and networking with everybody there.
That's really great to hear from your own experience, Connie, because I remember back then in the AfA Conference 2023, you used to be one of these delegates and also AKA speakers. So yeah, it's so great to hear that a lot of impact has been made ever since. How about you, Wu Hong? Do you have any personal experience from the past AfA conference that you can share so that somebody can feel like, okay, this is worth attending for them?
Well, for example, we have been dealing two religious issues in Taiwan. One is so-called mercy release of fish. People release wild-caught animals back to the wild. In between, there's a lot of casualties. So it is totally unnecessary rescue of animals. That is not a rescue of animals. Actually, is doing more harm than rescues. This is one. Another kind is the so-called pig of God issues in Taiwan. People raise the pigs up to 5 to 6 times more heavier than their usual weight. The competition is for the biggest, the heaviest pigs is the winner. But when I was in the conference in Nepal, I think it's about 7 years ago, and I learned there is a different religious issues in Nepal and in India. So there's I see the how to say, the scale is much larger than we are working here in Taiwan. The pig of God issue in Taiwan, we are talking about 100 or 200 pigs, but the ceremony in Nepal is thousands of cattle. So that kind of the comparison and that kind of the image, the exchange of the ideas, how groups in India, how groups in Nepal is trying to work on those issues, trying to stop those kind of animal cruelties. It's quite, yeah, I agree with Connie that first of all, you don't feel lonely, and secondly, you see someone else who is doing on the same job. This kind of comparison itself is kind of, how to say, it's kind of a support for my own campaigns in Taiwan too.
Yeah. Just being there at the conference so that everyone can feel that we're all in this together. We are not alone. Yeah, totally agree with that. And now, can you share some behind the scene moments or challenges that make this year planning extra meaningful? Or maybe even a little chaotic?
Yeah, it's definitely chaotic. I think because this time we have 3 Taiwanese hosts, so 3 animal groups working together, and then we're also working with the AfA Coalition. So I think chaotic in terms that trying to get everybody together for meetings is very hectic. It's very challenging in itself. But to share something, very meaningful or memorable, if I had to pick one thing, like there are so many things, but I think this year, I'm really excited and happy to have the Taiwanese government so supportive of the conference in Taipei. They are a major sponsor this year and have really provided a lot of support. And I think this really just show, that the issue is of high priority on their agenda. And I do believe working with the government is extremely important to advance animal production. So it's good to keep building that partnership, and I'm happy to have their support for the conference this year.
Yeah, for me, I think for me personally, I think that is the most difficult issue is that when we try to invite politicians from other countries, from Europe or from the Asian countries, it's difficult because we all know that if we want to make a change for the animals, we need to make the better legislation, better policy in each countries for each different issues. So we need to work with the politicians. We need to develop relationship with the politician in the parliament or in the local council. So I think one of our topic is we would like to invite people, parliament members from Europe or from the other Asian countries. But the most difficult part is this. Yeah, most politicians, their schedule is quite very tight. Maybe unless you can only make the appointment for the next two or three weeks. So to prepare such a big, huge event, huge conference, it is very difficult to invite to expect the appointment or the confirmation of the invitation in such a longer lead times. This is the most difficult part of us, I think, from my personal experience.
Yeah, that's not always easy, right? And I can only imagine it takes real intention and effort for putting this all together. And well, we all love a good what you didn't see on Instagram story eventually. And the AfA Conference Taipei brings together everyone from grassroots activists to policymaker. And how do you create a stage where all these voices feel heard and valued?
Yes, so it's very important to hear the perspectives from different stakeholders. And so this year, we have planned for a full 3 days of workshops, panels, keynote speeches, and with different themes each day. And this year we even have industry representatives also attending, which I think is fantastic because we really hope to engage in more meaningful dialogue at the conference. We have over 90 speakers and moderators from around the world that are coming. And we really have allocated a lot of time for discussions and Q&A in order to facilitate for more idea sharing. And I also think that networking, at the conference is super important. So we have all these different representatives coming. I think that people should really take advantage of the time here and, try to approach different people and talk to them and, engage in dialogue and talk about different strategies that are being implemented around the world. So I think that it will be really beneficial for everyone, who is working in animal protection.
Yes, for me, I think that space for all this voice, I think is created by everyone. If you come, try to make yourself empty, and make yourself like a blank paper, and forget everything you are at home. So then you will create the space. You can see how other people see same issues with a different view, with different angles. Yeah, I think the space is created by everyone, and as long as you make yourself relax, make yourself open your mind, open your eyes.
That's just a very great advice that both you, Connie, and Wu can give to whoever listens to this podcast and unsure whether this conference is for them. So yeah, just do it. Just be there and feel it, enjoy it, be in the conversation, connect with others, because it's just so cool to me, to be honest, when a conference art finally turn into real world impact. And all right, now let's do some quick favorites just for fun. Okay, Connie, what is your most excited section that you're looking forward to?
I'm excited for many sessions, but if I only had to pick one, it's so difficult, but I will have to pick, there's one session called Frogs Hunted, Farmed, and Eaten, How to Remove a Species from Human Consumption.
Yes, yeah, frog is yes, it's quite that is quite, how to say, ambitious, right? To try to get rid of one species from the list of our what people eat. Another similar how to say challenge is the fish. At least in Asia, I think the fish welfare is quite new. Not many groups working on the fish welfare now, but we are happy that we not only fish, we also have the one speaker who is scientist working on cephalopods animals. I think these are two different, quite new species that the groups in Asia needs to pay attention for their future, because we say the quantity is huge and the suffering of those animals are very severe. So I'm also looking for to listen to these two speakers talking about the welfare of the fish and welfare of the cephalopods.
Yeah, can I just add to that? What Wu Hong said was very important. For this conference, we really try to make sure that we cover a vast range of topics and animal issues. So we have workshops, talking about wildlife trafficking, wildlife, stray animals and entertainment, farm animals, and fish welfare, aquatic animals, So there really is going to be something for everybody, no matter which issue that you're personally working on. I think we can really learn from each other by attending these different workshops.
Okay, whoa, now the next one is for you. Most surprising person who's attending?
I'm very happy that we can invite Professor Lynn Snaden from Sweden, because I learned her name long time ago. I think it's about 20 years ago. She's started to working on the fish welfare, and I know she has been argue with the other scientists about whether fish has welfare conscious or not. But this time she promised she will come to Taiwan. I think I'm very happy that we can invite her. And I do expect her speech in Taiwan.
All right, last one. Best coffee shop or vegan bite near the venue? Connie, you.
Okay, there are so many vegetarian and vegan restaurants in Taipei, but there is one that is really good and really famous right across the street from the hotel. It's called Little Tree Food. And there's another restaurant, personal favorite. It's called Chow, which is only a few MRT stations away, and they serve authentic Taiwanese cuisine.
Well, I think if you come to Taiwan, you should try not only coffee, you should try tea in Taiwan. Try to find the best tea, different variety of teas in Taiwan, and you will love it.
We are the birthplace of bubble tea, Vinny.
Yes, that's correct. We all know that Taiwan is famous for bubble milk tea. Yeah, I would love to try it. The vegan version in Taiwan. Okay, I just love all of your suggestions because, of course, we all agree that good snack and good sections are equally important, right? And wow, what an amazing and a rich conversation that we had. And thank you both so much for sharing your insights, your stories, and a peek behind the curtain of this year's conference. And it's clear that the Asia for Animals Conference continues to be more than just an event. It's a platform for connection, collaboration, and meaningful action. Before we wrap up, Connie, Wu Hong, do you have any final words for our listener? Maybe something you hope they would take away or think about after hearing today's episode?
I think last words, see you all in Taipei. So don't think, just do it. We hope to see as many people here as possible. We really need everyone to attend in order to make this conference as fruitful as it can be. We're looking forward to everyone's input during discussions, and everyone's questions, suggestions, ideas are all very important. I think it will really help move the animal protection movement forward here in Asia and across the world.
This is my personal experience. My English is not a native language for me, so my English is not good at all. But imagine 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I went to a conference like this, it's very, very difficult to understand all the issues, and sometimes I can only understand the title of the talk. But I give myself lessons that I will try to pick up 3 new ideas and think of something I will change after this conference. 3 things I will make change. I will make 3 changes. Whether it's a different idea or different concept, different strategy, or different directions. Then I will figure out who 3 persons or 3 groups I will continue to contact after the conference. So every time I went to this big conference like this, big event like this, I always give me these 3 lessons. Yes, I will encourage you. If you never come or you come, you return to the AfA conference again. Yeah, pick up 3 things. Pick up, make 3 changes, and pick up 3 persons or groups after the conference. See you in Taipei.
What an amazing chat. And a huge thank you again to both Connie and Wu Hong for giving us that inside look at the AfA Conference Taipei 2025. If something resonated with you today, maybe a theme, an idea, or even just the energy of this conversation, consider joining the movement. This year, Asia for Animal Conference is happening August 25th to 29th in Taipei. Whether you're deep in the advocacy work or just starting to explore, there's space for you here. Head over to asiaforanimals.com/conference-2025 to register. And don't forget that flash sale is only May 15 to May 16, so don't slip on it. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. Keep reflecting, keep breaking boundaries, and keep standing up for the animals. Take care, and maybe see you in Taipei.
Thanks for listening. You can find everything you need to know about our work and connect with us at asiaforanimals.com. Tune in for the next episode. Asia for Animals Coalition, a united voice for Asia's animals.